Hello everyone, it's Brian with Mr. SF Studios. No, it's not about stereo this time. It's about cooling system. Those of you with the 85 Corvette or Camaro or Trans Am, you notice your cooling fan's not coming on. It could be that the motor has gotten corroded like this, where it's all brindled, barely turns. And when you hook it up directly to a battery, it sparks. That lets you know it's time for a motor. And this is a really easy job that anyone can do with simple hand tools. You need I think it's a half inch. You got 4 bolts. Undo the fan off the radiator. You unplug your weather pack connector. And you wrestle this little monstrosity out of the car. So you take your half inch and you go the opposite direction that you normally would to release it. You would think that left would loosen, but actually that tightens. So you would go to the right to get it off. It says right on it, left hand thread. You get your motor here. The motor's held in with 3 bolts here, here, and here. I've already removed them because I wanted to clean them and paint them, because that's how OCD I am. I always like to wire wheel stuff and paint it with Rust-Oleum before I reassemble. But anyway, undo your 3 motor bolts. Note which the position is, where they were. I think these just chew into the plastic, to be honest. Anyway, lift your motor out. There's your motor. And you put in your new motor. It just drops into place. This is the 4 Seasons part. Is a 35656. And then you look at your old motor, see where the bolts were. We've got one up at the top, right about here. We got one down at the side, right about here. And we've got one over here. So that would be right here. Always get your bolts started by hand before you go to the tool so that you're not chewing it up. Although I think on this one they probably chew up anyway. Tighten it down. And they don't have to be monkey tight because you're dealing with a plastic bracket. So just snug them down till it sits tight. Till you've bottomed out the screw against the new fan. And it would be good. But they say a spacer washer if necessary. This one had one kind of built in. So I think maybe I'll dig through my washer assortment and see if I can find something thick like that. This is what I always do whenever I get hardware in a kit like that. I break it up. I put the bolts in the bolts, the nuts in the nuts, and screws here in the screws. That way, future projects, you've got things if you need something. So we want a little spacer washer that's like that. See if we can find anything like that. I'm not even sure it's needed, but oh, that's a good one. That's a real nice one. That might be perfect, actually. Let's go with that one. What do you say? Put our spacer washer here. That way it'll stabilize in that little spot there. Drop your fan on. You can rotate the disc underneath until you line up the pins on the fan. There you go, that's lined up. And then we put our half inch on. Lefty tighty. This seems really weird, but it's right. Because it's a fan. There we go. Tighten up that fan. Good. So at this point, this is ready to go in the car. Basically, you just put it back the way you found it. And put the bolts in. Hook up your weather pack and put it in this little bracket. plugs in there and hooks onto this bracket. And you're done. Should work. Feels a lot better than the old one. The old one was pretty brindled. Okay, well, hope that helps. Thanks for watching.